Welcome to another Miscellaneous Monday. Today we're out in the garden, we've got our kid modelling for us, and I'm going to be taking you through which are the best lenses, or the best lens, definitely focal lengths to shoot at when shooting headshots. So without any further ado, let's get cracking. Before we get cracking, here are the lenses I'm going to use. So I've got the 16mm on the camera, which will be absolutely ridiculous by the way, because it's way too wide. Then we've got the 35mm, that's technically 18-35, but I'll shoot that at 35, that's a crop sensor lens. 24 to 105, I'll shoot that at 24 and also 105. 70 to 200, again, shoot it at both either ends. Got the 50mm 1.8 and the 85 1.4. Now for fairness, as I'm trying to do a fair test, this will all be shot at f4. So I'm going to put you guys here, and let's shoot. That's your good side. Okay. Right, so let's have it like that. Yeah, good. Lean your shoulder against the wall. Go back to the wall. That's it. Are you sure? I thought it was your other side, your good side.
No, because that's the one.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay, so lean forward to me slightly and chin down. Not that this is going to matter with the 16mm because I'm so close to you. That looks so silly. Right, I'm going to try that one more time. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that is an absolute cracker. Right, now let's get the 24 on. And here we go. Good. Beautiful. Next is the 35. 35, here we go. Getting a bit wider now, we can get a bit more depth of field. Good. 35 now, 50. Such a small lens, I've got a small lens. Okay. Now 70. Am I close to that thing? Minimum focusing distance is quite far away on this lens. And again. Good. 70 and now 85. I can get nice and close with this lens. Oh, such a good lens. 85. Now we're back to 105. Chin down. Good. Okay, that's not a bad shot. And finally, 200. And once more at 200. And that's a wrap. Thanks, babe. Your hand? Like an old lady. Oh. So that's all we're going to do for now. I'll show you on the computer exactly how they look. Thank you, our kid. Let's go on the computer. Right, if you want to laugh, let's see if you can. Can you wrap that up?
I don't want to break it.
You won't break. It's unbreakable. Oh, she's nearly done it. Oh, she's done it. I can't believe that.
Were you expecting me to just not do that?
Yeah, I thought we'd be here for about 20 minutes. Right, let's go and do these photos and I'll show you what they look like. So here we can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pictures that I've taken at 8 different focal lengths. So let's start at the start. Now, as we can clearly see, 16mm of wide lens is clearly a horrendous focal length to shoot a headshot, as is 24 in my opinion. It's still completely warped, it looks completely terrible. And yeah, there's just, I mean, look how look at the garden fence, and the wall is just all sort of, looks like something out of Inception. Everything's just kind of warped, and there's a lot of distortion. So no good. At 35mm, a great portrait lens, a great focal length for portraits. Headshots, no good. Still the same. I mean, there's a nice softness about this. I mean, this lens is a very good lens anyway. But don't be fooled by a really good lens. If it's not the lens to do the job, then it's the wrong choice. So no to 35 at headshots. Again, at 50mm, I always find that at 50mm, you can't take a headshot at 50mm because the face looks round. There's almost like a, and I'm sorry, Laura, there's a bit of a potatoiness to a 50mm lens effect on a face. It just looks, it just gives it a round look, and it's not very flattering at all. The compression isn't quite enough from that close distance. I couldn't get this close on the 70mm on the 70 to 200. However, you can see here that that 70mm for me is the base length, focal length to take a headshot. And this is quite good because what we could do is we could crop in there, and there's a nice depth of field that we can see occur into Laura's right hand side. Could crop that in like that. That looks quite good. And we've got a nice proportionate photograph there. But you know that I love my 85mm. This is 85mm, and the reason I love it is not only because it's an amazing piece of glass, and is how close the focusing distance allows you to get. Now, I don't actually know, the focus ring doesn't say the amount of, oh it does. I can get, the closest is 0.85. I think that's the closest. Or that's what I can manually focus to anyway. So I can be, a metre away from my subject and still get really good subjects. So we get, not only do I get a flattering look on the shape of the face and the head, I can get really close. And I think to have a really good, trusting working relationship with your model, you need to be very close to them. If you're too far away, or ideal, on the other hand, if you're too close, it's going to be a bit invasive, like it was with the wide lenses, which you wouldn't do anyway. But the 85mm allows you to be nice and close, as well as that focusing distance is really nice. And that's at f4, and look at that lovely depth of field. That bokeh in the background is really nice. So yeah, a huge fan of this lens, huge fan. This is at 105. Now the 24 to 105 lens is, I'd never sell this lens, I don't think. This is such a, I wouldn't say universal, but it's such, it can get you out of jail a lot of times with this lens, because there's such a great depth of, well, the focal length is huge, 24 to 105. It's got the red ring, so you know it's good. It's the optics are really, really good. It's very fast to focus. So at 105, I would probably use that if my 85mm broke, or maybe my 70 to 200, which is what I used to shoot my headshots on. And this is at 200mm. Now this is very tight. This is very close. The depth of field is very shallow at this focal length. So you've got to get it pin sharp. And that, again, this is at f4. So imagine if you want to use that at 2.8, you could have problems. And if you want to shoot at 200mm, you've got to stand another metre or two back. You're probably looking at 3 metres away from your subject, which is quite a big distance to be away from your subject. So, oh, what's this? Anything important? No. So, that's my take on it. I think 85mm is the absolute best lens that you can have for a headshot. You don't need to worry about zoom. And again, when you've got the 200mm on, it's so heavy that you can't help but shake. So steadying it is because it's top heavy, because all the glass is at the end, it's quite difficult to steady that. So 85mm every time. Now there is a Canon 1.2 version, which is an amazing lens. I've had a play with that. It's even bigger than this. But even better than that is this bad boy's big brother, which is the 1.4 Art series lens, which is, when I can afford it, my next purchase, I think. So I might sell this and get that. So there you have it. All these lenses have got different functions, but for headshots, in my opinion, need to be at a minimum 70mm and between 70 and 105. That's your sweet spot for focal length. So thanks for watching this video, folks. I hope you found something of use in the last 10 minutes. I want to encourage you to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and leave me a comment and a like, and I will see you on the next video. And tell your friends, folks. La, 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 la.